All right, guys. I might get a little bit spicy today. I feel like I'm normally, I'm a sweet person. I'm a happy person. I'm a pretty gentle person. But I'm a little, lit up today about a couple of things. So I'm just going to share it on this podcast, and I hope it lands well. And I hope that you can hear the love and the passion and the desire for you to feel better behind these words. So know that that's where it's coming from, even if you feel a little bit called out.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Nourished and Thriving Show. I'm your host, Katie Lovett. I'm a registered dietitian on a mission to help you increase your impact and legacy on the world while healing your gut and reducing your IBS symptoms. I'm so grateful to have you here. Each week, I'll inspire you to live vibrantly and provide valuable resources and information that empowers you to take bold action towards your health goals. Before we dive in, make sure you follow or subscribe to my show wherever you're listening so you never miss an episode. Ready? Let's go!
So I've been talking to a few people, and I just keep having these thoughts. I think about you guys all the time. Like if we're messaging each other on Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go follow me. I have the link below in the show notes. You can go follow me. I'm over there all the time. But if we're talking on Instagram, if you're in my Facebook group, if you're a client of mine, hello clients, I love you guys. I think about you guys all the time. Like I think about our conversations. I think about what you're going through and how I can better support you. And if you're an existing client, it's like, man, what's going on? I wonder how they're doing with this protocol. I wonder if they've tried those foods we talked about trying. I wonder how they're doing. Like I think about you guys and I check in, and I really deeply care about you. And I hope that that comes through. I think most healthcare providers very much care about the people that they're helping. I care about even my prospects because I just, really bond with you guys and connect and really, really want you guys to go out and be vibrant and light to the world. And that's what we're all called to do. But if you're dealing with a hot mess gut, if you're dealing with chronic gut symptoms, or even like non-gut specific symptoms that are linked back to gut that we've talked about before multiple times, like fatigue, skin issues, autoimmune conditions, headaches, anything like that can be tied back to gut health. And you're like, oh, I want help. Like, do you really want help? Do you really want to get better? Because a lot of you guys aren't acting like you actually want to get better. A lot of you guys are playing it really safe and you're not going all in. And the safe zone is never where results come from. Like think about the gym, think about athletes. Like if you're like over there doing bicep curls at a weight that isn't challenging for you, if your muscles aren't fatigued at the end of that workout, you're not going to grow. Your muscles are not going to get stronger. You're not going to see the results that you're out for. So if you're over here with your gut health and you're dabbling, you're just dipping your toe in here, going to see a practitioner here, going to go see someone else there, do a free podcast here, maybe I'll read a book there. You're just dabbling and stepping a toe in, but you're not going all in. You're not going to get the results. You're playing it safe. And if I ask you, if I say like, hey, like, are you really all in on your gut health? Like, do you really, really want to get better? Like this desire to get better and have better health has to be one of the biggest desires in your life right now. And that's actually a question on my application. That's how important it is. Because if it's not at least as important to you as it is to me, it's not going to work. I already said how much I deeply care about you and your health and you achieving your goals. Do you? Do you care deeply about your goals? And if you said, I think so, then the answer is no. If you said, I think so, you're probably playing it safe. You're probably timid and your behavior isn't necessarily matching your desire. And that's the next question is, if you say like, yes, I want to get better, I want to feel better, is your behavior lining up with that desire, or is it just like a hope and a prayer? Like, that is one of my pet peeves. You guys know I'm a Christian, and my faith is very important to me, but it drives me bananas whenever something tragic happens or something is hard for somebody and they text out, their friend group or neighborhood group or family or whatever, like, hey, like, this just happened to me. And the response they get back is, oh, I'm praying for you. Oh, thoughts and prayers. Like, no, like, thoughts and prayers are great. Like, yes, please pray for me. But like, have some action to go with it too, and don't just dabble and tiptoe around. Like, you've got to go all in. Like, I want you to picture a kid, like, not running because that's not safe, but like walking to the edge of the pool and like doing a massive cannonball in to the pool, like without abandon, like full on. And that's how you need to be taking action towards your health goals if you actually want to get better. Things that you've been trying before are not working. You need to try something else, and you need to do it with greater intensity if you want to get different results. You can't say, oh, I'm going to just try and visit a naturopath and I just need a meal plan. Just give me a meal plan. No, like, you need somebody who's going to link arms with you and do this thing and go at it. Go for the long haul. We try one thing. I talk about strategic, short-sighted action all the time on this podcast. We try something, we see what the results are. Maybe you see like a 40% improvement. Great. What else do we need to do to see the rest of the change? If you're just dabbling and you're seeing somebody once or twice and they help you realize a 40% improvement in your symptoms, you're going to think, oh yeah, that was okay. Like, it helped some, but my problems are still there. Well, it's because you didn't give them a chance. Like, did you go back and say, hey, like, it helped some, but this is what I'm still struggling with. Like, let's keep digging. If you're not with the right practitioner, they may not really know what to do from there. Like, if they are not super experienced or see a whole lot of people at once and they're not looking at the individual person and they just have like kind of blanket protocols, that may be the only tool in their toolbox. And they're like, well, I mean, it worked. It got some improvement. You need to find someone who's willing to go down the path with you and see, like, how are things doing? What do we need to adjust? Where are we going from here? What's next? And that's what you need to do if you really want to get better. I've helped over 100 people see an 80 to 90% reduction in their gut health symptoms. And I'm telling you, friend, this is what makes the difference between the people who see those kinds of results and the people who don't. Like, I do have clients that, even though they said on their application, like, this is the most important thing to them, it's super important, they're all in, they're ready to go, they never show up for a session. They never watch any of the videos. They don't really engage, or they'll show up for the sessions, but they're really slow to take action based on what we like come in from. Like, you need to be ready to like hit the ground running and be like, let's do this thing. Let's go, because that's how I am, because that's what it takes to get results. If this is you, if you are like, yeah, like, I want to get results, like, I am so tired of dabbling, but I don't know what else to do, I'm taking new applications for new clients into my gut rehab program right now. It's the same framework I use to help those clients see those results. I've linked to that application here in the show notes, so make sure you go check that out. You can watch a program video that shares more about how I work, what to expect, get to know me better. Definitely check out these podcasts to get to know me even better. I always like to research people before I work with them. And like I said, like, working with me is a commitment. And so I want to make sure that you know me and that we're a good fit before we start working together. But yeah, like, go apply if you're like, man, I really just wasn't sure what else to do. And I felt like dabbling, like, I felt like I was playing all out, but I'm realizing now I was just dabbling. And that's okay. Like, we all just do the best we can with what we have and what we know at the time, right? Like, I mean, I think that's just how we are and how human nature is and how we grow. But now you know. The sheet has been lifted off your head and you can see now. So if that hits, let me know. But there's a really powerful exercise of looking at yourself 10 years from now and seeing, like, who are you? Who are you surrounded by? What are you doing? How is your life? What does it look like? And it can go a couple of different ways, right? And we're not like, we don't have a crystal ball or anything, right? So we don't know for sure. Like, things can happen that are not expected. But if we just take it really simplistically and you're like, okay, if I don't do anything, or I keep dabbling and just trying a couple of things at a time, 10 years from now, knowing the likelihood of me seeing like massive success is not that great, what is that going to look like in 10 years? How is my life going to look? And probably not great, right? Like, we know that as our bodies become more imbalanced, we feel worse. Those symptoms spread into other systems in our bodies. Maybe you do have a diagnosable disease now and you are having to take medication to manage it, and you still don't really fully understand why or how things kind of fell off the rails there. But you know, that's where you're at. Now imagine the flip side of that, where you are like, today's the day, I am kicking this. I am figuring out what in the world is going on with my body, why I can't drink coffee anymore, why I am having to take something to go to the bathroom every time I go, why I can't eat out, why I'm having to carry extra pants in my bag, you know, why I'm bloated and look 6 months pregnant at the end of every day, or why I have such bad fatigue. You're like, I am like doing this. I am figuring this out. Now, like, look at your life 10 years from now. If you can figure that out, if you can harness that and be like, this is what it is. I am so empowered in my body. I know what my body needs. I know what my body doesn't respond well to. I know how to balance that. Like, imagine your life then. Like, you are going to be so free and confident and empowered and vibrant and just a light to those around you. And, you know, I think it all comes down to fear in a little bit. And I don't like using fear like a fear tactic on people. I really don't believe in it, but I do feel like fear can be very motivating. And so I want to just bring it up in case fear is motivating you right now. I do like moving towards light and moving towards hope more, right? Because fear is like a huge, horrible tool that can really break a lot of people. But are you allowing fear to motivate you right now? And if so, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of something not working, and so you're afraid to play all in? Like, you're afraid to go all in, so you're just going to play it safe and dabble because nothing has worked so far and you're afraid nothing will? Are you afraid of going all in and still being sick at the end? And so you're just like, man, I don't know. I'll just kind of read a book, do a podcast. I don't know. Are you afraid of who you'll become throughout the process? Because yeah, you're going to change and you're going to grow in some ways that aren't even linked to your gut health, but it is going to be so beautiful, and you're going to be so much more of who you were made to be throughout this process, because any sort of pain, any sort of growth brings us bigger and more like who we were made to be. So I just really want to encourage you to not let fear be your driver here. Let hope and motivation and light and vibrancy and excitement, let that motivate you, and let faith and belief motivate you. Believe in yourself and believe in your body's capacity to heal and all of that. So that's what I want to leave with you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I hope you don't feel too called out, but just enough called out to where you'll take some good action, guys. I don't want y'all playing safe, because then you're just like restricting without the results. And who wants that, right? Like, you're spending a little bit of money going to practitioners, you're spending a little money reading books, you're spending a little money on healthier food maybe. You're maybe restricting some foods so you're not fully able to enjoy the food that you're eating. but the results aren't there. That's like a lose-lose situation. I want you, maybe, yeah, you're going to restrict or have to invest in your body more for a short time, but the results, like if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm doing an up diagonal with my hand, the results are going to skyrocket, and that investment is worth it. You are worth it. So if you found this helpful, make sure you give me a 5-star rating below. Leave a few words telling why you love this podcast. It means the world to me. Go take bold action. Go all in. Can't wait to see you guys on Instagram. Looking for applications to come through. I do have a few spots starting next month. So we'll talk with you guys soon.
Thank you so much for listening to the entire episode. I hope you are feeling inspired and empowered to take bold action towards your health goals. If you enjoy what you heard, don't forget to follow my show so you never miss a new episode. And it would mean the world to me if you left me a review so others knew what to expect from my show. Last, get in touch. Let me know what bold action you're taking. Let me know how you're inspired. Follow me on Instagram at the_healthygut_dietitian. I've put a link in my show notes for you so you can simply click and follow. Come say hi. I respond to all my messages and I can't wait to get in touch.